I've talked about Kyle Wright and what he did, but I can't talk enough about how awesome this bullpen has been. Kyle Wright comes in and gives 4 dominant innings. That still leaves a long time for this bullpen to shut the door, and they did it again. You keep wondering, this Astros offense has seen these pitchers over and over and over. When are they going to catch up to them? Once you start seeing guys over and over, you eventually catch on to them. But again, we see them having to lean heavy on the bullpen, and they get it done. This bullpen has been lights out. Lights out. The story of this World Series so far, obviously certain big hits. There hasn't been a ton of offense to this point. It has been the Braves pitching. It has been the Braves relievers. That has been the story of this World Series thus far. But I want to talk about who the Braves started tonight. Dylan Lee, who had never started a game in his major league career. So where else does his first ever start come? Of course, it's Game 4 of the World Series. He's never started before. So a couple points I want to make here. One, and look, it's easy in hindsight to say you should have done something else. I talked to AJ Hinch on Flippin Bats just a couple of weeks ago, and he said one of the hardest things to do as a manager in the playoffs is manage pitchers and manage the bullpen. But one thing he made very clear, and I found this to be very interesting, is just because a move doesn't work doesn't mean the other one would have worked. In my opinion, you start Kyle Wright. The Astros in that first inning, that's where they get you. That's where they get you quick. So why start Dylan Lee? I don't know. I think you start Kyle Wright, let him go a few innings. But you never know what it might be. You never know what the reason might be why we saw Dylan Lee start. It could be a matchup thing. Kyle Wright may not do well against Jose Altuve. He may have a bad career against Jose Altuve. So Snitker may be sitting over there and saying, you know what? We're not going to start Kyle Wright. We need some innings out of him. We want to start him in the second inning so he's not facing those guys that he doesn't do well against. We don't know the talks going on behind the scenes, but that could very well be what's going on. But Dylan Lee ends up getting the start, and as I said last night and in my game preview, the Astros start quickly. They start early. Look for the Astros to come out and score in the first inning. What did they do? They came out and scored in the first inning, but hats off to the Braves for shutting it down. It could have gotten ugly. It could have gotten ugly right there. There were runners on base. They were one swing away from being down 4-0. And then from that point on, it looks like, this is the first inning. We're down 4-0. Offense is hard to come by. This game could have been over. So kudos to them for shutting the door, slamming the door right there, and not making it worse. Let's throw this to some fan questions. What do we got first? Was the moment too big for Dylan Lee? Look, this was a very tough situation for Dylan Lee. You know, I almost feel bad for the situation he was put in. He's never started in the major leagues before. And then to start him in this game, in Game 4 of the World Series, that's a tough place to start. But one thing I did like that he did, as I've said a few times, he's never started in the big leagues. So what did he do? When the team took the field out of the dugout, no Dylan Lee. Where was Dylan Lee? He was warming up in the bullpen and came trotting in from the bullpen. I was sitting in the stands and turned to my buddy and said, he's coming in from out of the bullpen. This is great. I love this. Obviously, it didn't end up working out great for him, but a tough situation for him to come in. So, I don't blame him at all. I would have started Kyle Wright. But let's get another question. Why didn't the Braves just start Kyle Wright? That's a great question. I touched on that for a second. We don't know the stories going on behind the scenes. It very well could be, the Astros lead off with Altuve, Bregman, Correa, whatever it may be. You don't do well against those guys. We need you to get a couple of innings. We don't want to get you in trouble off the jump. We don't want you to get in trouble and us have to pull you after an inning or after an inning and a half. So maybe that's why they didn't start Kyle Wright. I don't know. I don't think it was the right situation. I don't think it was the right decision. I really don't. I think he should have started. I think you have one of your guys. Kyle Wright is more of a guy than Dylan Lee, who's never started before. But At least he's started before. At least he's started games in Major League Baseball before. So in my opinion, I would have started Kyle Wright. Obviously, hindsight is 20/20. But even before this happened, even before, I would have said the exact same thing.
Thanks for watching. If you love flipping bats, swinging 3-0, or just talking ball, join us. Call us at 213-537-9339 with your questions. We have a weekly guest, and we have a lot of fun, so hit that subscribe button.